Hey, good morning. Welcome to my cactus live stream. Cactus and vegetable live stream. Good morning, everyone. I have a lot of cactus seedlings here again. I have the chili, another one that I want to water today. Self-grown, sown out chili. We will discuss all that today. Yeah, a lot of cactus seedlings here. Some of them in the container. Maybe we can take them out. I will try to do that today. To take as many of them out of the containers as possible so we can start watering, fertilizing. And yeah, welcome to everyone, to all my friends, all my supporters. Thank you for always being here. I greatly appreciate that, Yeah, then I want to, hey, good morning. Welcome to the live stream. Great to see you. Hope you are all right. Let me just turn this off here. It had already translated it again. Good morning, everyone. Great to see you. I hope you are all right, everyone. Welcome in the new week. I hate that it's already Monday again, but yeah, apparently here we are. The weekend went too fast, but great to see you. I hope you are all right. Yeah, yesterday morning I did a little advertising video, like a little video for the books that I've been selling. I've been emptying out the office, and I've put a few books up for sale, and now I was overwhelmed with orders. Like yesterday I got as many orders within just a few hours that I have gotten last year in total, I think. Yeah, I had posted that on Reddit. Reddit is a great platform. They have a great user base. And yeah, when I posted that little video of the thing, wasn't paid advertising, I just made a video and showed the books that we did. And that kind of blew up yesterday. So yeah, now I have so many orders, and it will take me a couple weeks to get it all done, to get it all out. Hey, good morning. Great to see you. I hope your father is all right again soon. Tell him my regards. But yeah, I'm sorry to hear. Right now life's difficult. Same for me. Totally understand. Every time you're here, it's great, but I'm not, I don't hold grudges, I'm always happy when you guys are doing all right and are doing something important. So yeah, and I had posted that yesterday, and I think, I don't know how many orders I got. They just kept coming in, and I really will use this money to finally buy pots, buy soil, that kind of stuff that we need for the live stream. I'm almost out of sowing soil, and now I will really buy all the equipment that I need for the season. That would be great. So yeah, that allows me now to really get started with the channel, with the live stream this year. I would buy me, I don't know, 50 pots, maybe 5 bags of soil, 10 bags of soil, and that will be enough to get started. Yeah, and yesterday I laid that water hose. I'm not sure if you have seen it, but it was hilarious. Like, wasn't intentional. I really just wanted to roll out the hose, and I almost didn't film it, but I felt like, when you're doing something like that, sometimes it's good when you just have the camera rolling, and that thing wouldn't roll out. It just got stuck everywhere. It turned around. I have never seen such a completely screwed up hose. So eventually, I'm not sure. I think I will get me a shorter one. I always talked about that I need a 50-meter hose, but now that I have that 50-meter hose in the garden, 30 or maybe even 25 meters would have been enough. So yeah, I might get a smaller one. I don't want to cut it down. I could cut the long one down, but these are really expensive, and who knows where I need it in the garden and everywhere. And later today, maybe I will start watering in the greenhouses. So beginning of the water season. I already watered a little bit yesterday, but not much. I want to today, now that that I have a little bit of water back there, I would just get started. Okay, yeah, let's get started with the seedlings too. I have so many that need water again. A lot of the live stream today is watering. Water management is just one of the most important things when dealing with any kind of plant, and with cacti, they're a little bit sensitive. You need to have that kind of right amount of water. It can't be too much, but it also can't be too little. And yeah, so let's get started with the watering. By the way, I have watched a little bit of the Oscars this morning. And I was happy that Paul Thomas Anderson won a few of them. And yeah, I had recently talked about that movie Sinners. I really liked that one too. So I'm glad that it at least won a few. So yeah, later I want to watch the rest of it. I don't usually spend a lot of time with movie stuff, but every now and then I still have a lot of love for the art form. Okay. So yeah, earlier today I watered, and then I realized I had washed the seedlings out of this container. And I've been watering another plant that was besides it. And then the water kind of washed all the seedlings out of the pot. So now I want to clean them so I can reposition them. This is a total mess and I need to fix it. Okay. Yeah, and I also have that that fruit, that passion flower fruit that we want to check through. I wanted to harvest the seeds that are in this thing when they are ripe, and it's kind of hard to tell when these are ripe. I have seen that it's starting to get a little wrinkly, but I can't tell you if this is when I should open it. So let me know if you know how these are ripening at the age. This is passion fruit. I feel like we might be able to sow out the seeds here on the live stream. And I have it beside me waiting for the right time to harvest the seeds. Okay, yeah, let's discuss the cactus seedlings. I just tried to get them back into the soil. I dropped a few. Few fell out during the watering, and I need to fix that. These are roughly 2.5 months old, I guess. Yeah, in the new soil, they look pretty good, but in the beginning, you really need to be careful. They can wash out easily when you're watering too hard with too much pressure, and you need to be careful. Don't be like me. Sometimes when I'm watering, sometimes you forget how much pressure you are giving them, and then you are sandblasting them out of the pot. That was the case here. So yeah, I would pot them up again, little seedlings. Some of them look a little weak. I'm not sure if all of them will survive, but we will try. Soil needs to dry up in between. These can't stay wet for too long. And every time the soil has dried out, I water again. I spray again. So let's water them again. That gives me a little bit more visibility, just cleaning the seedlings a little bit. I had these here in the live stream to repot them not long ago. Just a few, maybe even a few weeks ago. But just not too long ago. And now I have them back again. It's not good to stress them like that. This time they really need to stay in there. Can't really make any mistakes with them again. You only have a little room for a mistake here and there with these tiny seedlings. Okay, check it out. Yeah, this will go back under the lamp, under the plant lamp. We are growing these in sowing soil now, relatively organic soil. But since we have them inside, nothing can happen. Like, we can let it dry out. Within just a few hours, this soil dries up. within 2 or 3 hours, I guess. And then you can water them again. Then you can spray them again. These here still very small seedlings, and just 3. Just a little bit water. They get fertilizer again, maybe in a couple weeks from now. Yeah, and again, I'm always happy to take questions if you want to know something. If not, we are just going through the seedlings that we have sown out, and all of them on the live stream within the last 2 or 3 months. Yeah, most of the work today is watering, and maybe we can bring these out of the containers. Within the first 2 months, I have them in humidity in something like this, or with a bag surrounding the pot. And at some point after 2 months or so, you can think about bringing them out, depending on how good your setup is, if you can spray them all the time. What we're doing here, this is almost daily. You can't really miss a lot of watering if you take them out of the bag. So really, so I usually wait until they are a little bigger, until they can take that stress of drying out in between. So yeah, I will wait a little to let the water sink in. I want to give them water again a little later. They just need a little bit more time to take that water in. When the soil was so dry, it just sinks down, and not a lot of it is available to the seedlings. Okay. Yeah, and we will repot again today. I have a few containers where I really want to repot the seedlings. I'm building a potting table. Maybe today I already have it. I'm still not 100% ready. Where I want to move it in the room. So I try to have a way where I can have that potting table and the camera in front of it, so that you instantly, that it's a good view. And yeah, but it's hard to do that indoors. It's hard to do that without it turning into a total mess. So I'm still moving stuff around, trying to find the right thing that works. Okay, so yeah, these get a little water. These are very small, small for the age. They should be a little bigger now. Sometimes they are genetically weak, genetically slow, where they just take longer to grow. I will look at the label to see if that's the case, but I'm pretty clear on that already, I feel. Yep. So this is an intergeneric hybrid. This is an intergeneric hybrid between a columnar cactus as a mother and a multi-hybrid flower hybrid as father, with grandiflorus, and that is genetically a little bit more distant than when you make a cross between 2 plants from the same species. So these could be a little bit delayed, could take a little longer. I think we will repot them, just because I don't like how they look. Like in that soil looks a little unhealthy. So let me get my gloves, and then I will fill up a pot with soil. I have quite a few pots here today, and we can pot a few seedlings. I really want to single out one of those containers that has 1 million seedlings in them. Check it out. There's something like this here that I want to take care of today, because they shouldn't be like that. There should be space left. A little bit for the seedling wouldn't be bad. So we need to undo that. Okay. So here's the soil, and later today I will order new sowing soil. I'm really happy that we can then continue to sow out. I will be able to buy a few hundred pots, like the little square pots that I'm using here. So that is great. I was very happy to see how many people have messaged me after my video yesterday, have ordered books and that kind of stuff. Really amazing. Thank you again, everyone who kind of has been making an order or just making comments. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I don't often post about the books that I did, because I sometimes I feel like good quality should stand on its own and succeed on its own, but in today's social media landscape, that's not true anymore. It became harder and harder to be found with the website, and yeah, you are always ranking against pages that do nothing else than just building websites to rank. And yeah, so I appreciate the support that I've been getting. Okay, yeah, this is the new soil here, and I will now place the seedlings on top of it, just laying them on top of the soil. Then I will spray them, clean them a little, and then we will push them into the new soil here. Before we do that, I need to spray the water here, like spray the soil here a little bit, so I can take out the seedlings without injuring the root. Yeah, let's spray this one too, because that makes the top layer a little easier when you put the seedling there, and it's instantly covered with soil. That is really annoying. At the very least, it's annoying, but I feel it also hurts the seedlings because it takes away light. So I always try to, when I put something there, that the soil isn't completely dry, because otherwise it would just stick like flour. Okay, yeah, I moved the seedlings into the new container now, one by one, and always careful. They already look weak. They already look a little bit yellowish, greenish. And yeah, there must be a reason for that. Yeah, now I damaged the root. Nice. It just happens sometimes, but it shouldn't. It shouldn't. Always careful when you have seedlings that already look weak. They often also have a weak root. That might be the reason they are weak, But in one moment where you are not 100% concentrated and you have that root in your hand. Okay. I always say repotting is good for seedlings, but it's only good if you do not damage them when you're handling them. So yeah. Yeah, and I couldn't believe, like yesterday, like after I posted that video, I couldn't believe how many orders I was getting for the books. Really wild. Yeah. So I'm really happy today. I will buy a lot of good equipment for the live stream. I want to get new soil for what we're doing here. Moving seedlings. Maybe I will get a few seeds here and there. Yeah. Will be great. I'm looking forward to that. That I finally have a little budget that I can work with, It's always difficult when you're working and you can only just get along from day to day. Like sometimes when I'm repotting in summer and when times are really difficult, financially difficult, then I order like one bag of soil per week, something like that. Normally it would be cheaper to get a few at once. But when things are a little bit short on funds, then yeah, then you have to buy them at more expensive rates, If you can buy them bulk, makes soil and that kind of stuff a lot cheaper. Okay. Think I have them all. And these, it wasn't absolutely necessary that we transplant them, But again, in the beginning, like when you have seedlings in the same soil for maybe 3 months, and in the very beginning when you can have quite a few different problems like damping off, in that phase it can be good to just get rid of that old soil, leave the old problems in the old pot. Only thing you need to be careful about is that you don't injure them. But if you can safely put them back in the soil, then it should help their health. Okay. So these seedlings now come in sowing soil. That is the second generation of soil that we have tried on the live stream. And so far, I would say it's you can't really, like in regards to the growth rates, you can't compare it one for one. I would just say it's safer in regards to the fungus gnats. Fungus gnats have been a major issue in that first soil and not so much in the new one. So that is good. So a little bit more water. Every time I water, that also gives me a little bit more visibility. And it makes it a little easier to move the seedlings. The one thing that I really try to avoid is that I push the seedling into the soil and the base kind of gives in, bends over, because that can be the infection that takes it. So yeah, because it's instantly straight beside the soil, very close to where you constantly have dirt. Infections happen very easily there. And that is the good thing about the square pots here. When they have the drainage holes at the bottom, you do not have to worry about how much you can water. You water, and eventually everything that is too much will come out at the bottom at the drainage holes. And you don't have that with these, with the takeaway containers. You would have to repot them every time. And you've seen the repotting work that we're doing. This is just one container. Now let's have a look into one of these. This is getting a lot of seedlings that you are instantly having to repot a little bit earlier than the others. At least if the pot is big enough for them. At some point you will have to move them anyways, you know, but I'm just saying it adds a little bit more work in the beginning at a time when the seedlings are already a little bit easier to kill, you know, like where you can lose a seedling because of anything. They can expire from being in the sun, from getting too much pressure, from getting fungal infections. These little seedlings are so fragile, and within the first 2 or 3 months, it really matters. Hey, good morning. So you're painting. That's great to hear. Yesterday I thought about that too. Like the room that I'm in now, it kind of has a green screen. Like the background, it's literally green screen. And I'm not sure if I like that or not. I have to think about it. So I consider painting a lot too. So yeah, I hope you can get it done. I believe in you. So yeah, a little bit more water. These are really tiny. Oh, by the way, I wanted to talk about the pumpkin. Yesterday or maybe a few days ago, we have sown out pumpkin seeds. My mom bought pumpkin seeds, and of course we're trying it out to sow them out. And now that thing has germinated. And yesterday someone warned me, like gave me information that pumpkin, if you plant them out in the garden, they can take over the whole garden within short time. And I just wanted to say that on the live stream. that happened, and that I believe it. So I have maybe we're growing the pumpkin inside. We would see. I'm not sure if I want to let it out in the garden. But that I just wanted to say that this is something, if you're sowing out pumpkin, I think that is valuable information that you might want to have. If you have it in the garden, they might grow aggressively. That's what I read in that comment. So yeah, just passing over that kind of information. Oh, you actual mold. Do you have like the are the walls dry? Like really dry? I hope you have gotten the walls dry again. That's that kind of stuff. You know, I have an old house, and I always have to heat it very well to make sure everything is that there's no mold. You know, and with the older houses, it's really difficult. And yeah, like last week, I saw that I have a wet spot in the cellar. There's a lot of humidity coming because the house that I have, they didn't even have a real kind of floor, cement floor in the cellar. My grandparents, when they built their house, they had just earth, like just classic. They had a little garden there, and were growing portobello mushrooms in the cellar. So I know how it is when you have humidity problems in the house, and that is a huge thing. So I hope you can get it under control. I had to tree the wall once. Yeah, I totally understand. It's the same here, you know. And heating is so expensive for these older houses. So yeah, since I'm not cooking anymore, it has gotten a little better. Like at the time when I was still cooking regularly in the kitchen, there was always more humidity in the kitchen, and that was a real problem. But I solved that efficiently. I just stopped cooking. So yeah. Okay, so I will move these seedlings here a little bit. And some of them don't look great. I don't think we will have, like, these will all make it. Yeah, just some of the seedlings are a little on the weak side. This just genetically weak, you know? Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done. 1 or 2 seedlings, and then we're moving on here with the next ones. But I can't, there's just not a lot of pressure that I can put on these seedlings. These look so weak already. I actually might take this one out because it looks so, because the root looks so bad. Maybe if I can pot it a little deeper, maybe it has a chance to root, but probably not. This looks bad. Genetically unhealthy. And that happens. The seeds were fresh. Seeds were just a few months old. Okay. These are the seedlings now. I would spray them once more that they sink a little more into the soil. And then this goes under the lamp. I really want that for 1 day under the plant lamp at a good spot. 1 or 2 days that it has time to dry up. I like that. I like when the soil dries up again very fast. Okay. Not too much, because otherwise they fall over again when you just repotted them. They are very easy to disturb again. Okay, so these here, maybe we should replant these two. There's a lot of smaller seedlings in between, and I wanna get these into new soil. Give them a little, everyone a little bit more place, little bit more space than what they are getting here. So let me water that, and then we're moving. And then we are moving these here. These have overtaken the pot. This is total insanity. Too many sown out. That is I'm never doing that again. I'm never sowing out more than 30 seeds at once. I can't even tell you how that happened. Usually I never put so many seeds in there. I don't know how they get, like, you know, sometimes it's like when you're cooking noodles, it didn't look so much. Okay. So before every live stream, I always clean pots, clean new ones. And these are perfectly spotless. And now we can move a few of the seedlings into that new soil. I think I will bring a few already, like, right away. I really want to do this. This just hurts me to look at. And I believe we need at least 2 or 3 for that, just to get them to take them apart. You are tearing me apart. Okay. I will bring 2. I will bring 2 for now, and then we'll see if we need a third one. We can get that. Okay, and this is for the other one. So soil needs to be wet again here, so we can take the seedlings out. Of course, you can also pull them out of dry soil, but that always increases the risk that you lose the root, that the root stays in the soil. So I'm trying to get rid of the old soil. I really want to have them in new soil. Here's a hair, by the way. I think the cat was at the seedlings again. Okay, let's spray the soil a little bit, that it doesn't get that it's not too dry when I place the seedlings there. Let me have a look at the label, what we have here. I think this could be a columnar cross. Yeah, columnar mother and a flower hybrid as a father. I think a Gräser hybrid, and the way the seedlings look, that's quite likely. Pretty massive seedlings. And there are a lot of small ones in between, and I try to find them carefully, move them. Maybe we will put them in one corner together where we only have the small ones. I don't think that a lot of them will make it. Like some of them just look a little bit disadvantaged, you know, a little bit troubled. Here's one that's completely white. That should be an albino. It's actually a little bit too old already. In the beginning, the albino seedlings, they just don't have so much energy. They don't hold out so long. So maybe it should have already be gone if it couldn't produce chlorophyll and survive, you know. The albino seedlings, sometimes they can't. Sometimes they are just genetically damaged. I don't know, genetic defects that just happen, especially when you make a cross between 2 very distant cacti. But in general, the outcome of this cross doesn't look too bad. The seedlings look okay. Oh, the stuff with the water hose, it was one of the funniest things that I ever filmed. I'm sure, like, long term, that video that I posted yesterday, people will love it. You know, like, that is the kind of, in the middle, it got really bad. Like, there were times when that thing was so screwed up. But eventually, I got a little water out of it. Not much, not a lot of pressure, but a little bit. But it doesn't change that the 50-meter water hose that I bought now, or that I got, is way too long. I have immense water hose lying in the path, and you can't walk past it because there's water hose everywhere because it's so long. So I might actually have to get me a shorter one now. So I have to do it again next time. But with a shorter hose, I believe it should be a little easier, hopefully, you know? But the long one is good enough now. It will work just to start watering. And that gives me time to get a new one for within the next couple weeks. Yeah. And then that's great. Okay. But I'm 100% sure that is like it's kind of hard when you look at a video that's it's 20 minutes long, you know, and they're in between there are really funny moments. I consider maybe making a short out of some of the parts in the middle where I just fight against the host. I almost didn't film it, and I was so happy that I did because it was really funny. Like in situations like that, I can really laugh about myself. It's something that like that kind of humor. I like that, and I really enjoyed that video. So I was glad that I filmed. Okay, I'm almost done here with moving these. Most of them look good, but there are a few small ones in the middle that I need to find here. Not sure what to do with the smallish ones. Some of them look like they are green and healthy, but others not so much. Okay. Yeah, I'm almost done, but I keep finding the little seedlings in the pot now. And these little ones are interesting because they could be totally different. They could be monstrous, they could be crested, they could have some sort of a mutation because they look so different now already. Who knows how they will look later? So I would really like to keep the small ones if they survive. Yeah, we'll see. I mean, I have some connectors, but honestly, it was always leaking a little bit, you know. And I think I would have only needed 5 more meters or so on the other hose, so maybe 25 meters would already be enough. I really think I would just get me another one. I will put this excessively long one. I put it aside. Because there might be a situation where you need water somewhere at a remote place where you're building something. So I will keep that thing, but long term I can't work with that, and I don't want to have like, you know, I had really bad experiences with the connectors. I was probably doing it wrong. Safe to say I was probably doing it wrong. I just need the hose one piece where I cannot make any mistakes. Okay. So now I want to spray them, just cleaning them a little. I want to get the soil to the point where I can push the seedlings in. Yeah, and later during the day, I will try to catch up to all the emails that I got. I also made a post on Reddit for the people who supported me with the books. Thank you again. I made a post on Reddit. Check it out. Posted a few common questions that I got yesterday. And yeah, I will be busy packing the next week or two. So thanks again for the support, everyone. I greatly appreciated that. And it allows me to do the live stream. You know, every day we are using pots. Every day we are using soil. Yeah, and that was great that we can fill up the soil storage again, fill up the pot storage, and then we can really focus on the new season. Okay, yeah, and the seedlings here, they look really good. I really like how they look. I didn't repot them now because they looked bad. I repotted them because I liked how they looked, and I wanted to keep them like that. Sometimes when I see seedlings, they look poor, and they need to be transplanted into new medium right away. But there are also cases when you really feel like it's going really good. Sometimes you need to, at some point, it's time to go into the next pot, give them new soil, that it keeps going good. And I also try not to change something if it goes well. I just mean the longer you wait, the more the likelihood that with the soil there can be a problem. Like you can always soil can kind of degrade, lose nutrients, or kind of have the wrong pH level. That kind of thing is really difficult for seedlings because they only have that tiny root and it can rot so easily. And that's why if in doubt, sorry, if in doubt, change the soil. Okay, yeah, and I will try to pot them up, and I really try to keep the little seedlings too. There are one or two only that I've seen that I want to take out. Here's one that's completely white, and also I feel like it's already starting to expire. Check it out. Sometimes you have that kind of a whitish skin, and that is not a good sign usually. When the seedling becomes transparent, you know, changes color. They rarely change the color because they are so happy. Yeah, and in the future for the live stream sowing out, we have to sow smaller bags, because it's so many seedlings to handle. The way this has been done now in the first live stream, we will run out of space so fast. And where's the fun in that, you know? Okay. Almost have them in the new soil. Taking the longest time with the weaker seeds that are so fragile at the root system. Here's another one that is almost white here on the side. And that one doesn't really have a lot of potential. Like long term, I wouldn't get used to it. But we will give it a chance. I try to pot all equally well. Give them all the same connection, no matter how the seedling looks, because you never know which ones will surprise you. And it happens every time. Okay. So let's water them again. Okay, yeah, most of it is done now. Just corrections now, moving one or two seedlings a little bit more centered, correcting the position. I don't want them leaning over too much because that gets them too close to the soil, and I don't want the seedling on the soil. That's where the enemies of the little seedlings are. Okay. Yeah, we will have to correct these again within the next days, probably. So this goes under the lamp now, and I want the soil to dry out now. And then we will water again, then it sinks down again. That will allow me to... Eventually, they will have a perfect position in the pot. So now I wanted to take this one. This is the chili. One of the smaller chilies. Let me see what kind of a cultivar this is. Yeah, California Reaper. And yeah, we will repot it then. I will buy a few big pots, and these will go into the bigger pots now. I believe they are already root bound at that size. I'm pretty sure they can be in much bigger pots than I'm having them now. It won't be a huge issue, because they are getting They're getting enough water. They're getting enough nutrients, even if the pot is small. But yeah, better to give them a little bit more. They will probably grow faster when we repot them again. I just want to water it now. And then this goes back to the lamp also. I think it takes a while until we get the pots, maybe a week. But then that will go into the new one. Here's seedlings that I moved. And for now it's okay. But I don't like how puffy the soil still looks. This needs to sink in. And that happens by watering it. You encourage that by watering the soil, watering the seedlings. Yeah. And I will put a little bit water in here until everything becomes a little bit more flexible, a little bit. So I can move the seedlings if I need to. I don't want to do much. They look good. They look okay, but there are 1 or 2 seedlings that are a little bit crooked for my taste. Just pushing them a little bit straighter into the soil. Sometimes a little deeper to give them more stability. I don't like when stuff is in the barely, you move it and it falls over. What's this? Here's a seedling that has an infection, I believe. So here, that little seedling here that is much delayed, and that has a root infection. So let me take that out here. So here you can see, no, you can't see it. Base looks rotten. Good that I saw it. This needs to come out. This could be from fungus gnats, that damage from the old pot, maybe. Looks like something has eaten the base of the seedling. This one is gone. This is the end. Okay. Yeah, apart from that, the other seedlings look good. Lubivia winteriana. Let's water them again. And then they come back under the lamp. Just a little bit light. A lot of people grow Lubivia in mineral soil. And we might do the same. But for now, we're testing a little, trying to grow them inside in a good setup with good water management. Maybe we can make it happen without having to use minerals. Here's something that I wanted to show you. These need to be singled out, but the others here needed more. So we will do these first. Just one thing that I want to do is I've seen that here in between, there's a seedling that dried up, maybe due to dehydration. So let me pull the seedlings apart a little bit, and then I take that out. This is dried up skin, spines. When that happens in between the seedlings, you need to take it out. You can't leave it. If you leave it, it will be home for insects. It will be home for all kinds of pests like mealybug. They love that kind of stuff. That is where they really thrive. So taking that out is important. And also, by keeping that in, you trap the humidity. You have an unclean kind of soil situation because you have that in between. Yeah, and it's just a hotbed for an infection. It's just asking for infection. Yeah, apart from that, it's okay. They need water, though. The loss of these seedlings could have been dehydration. It's hard to tell once you have lost the seedling already, when it's just gone. But this could have been dehydration. Sometimes you can't get them all. Some seedlings need more water than others. And if you have them so close together, you will never be able to guarantee perfectly that all the seedlings get the same kind of water. You would have to really, when you're watering, be in the moment, present, like Mr. Miyagi, really spraying every seedling separately. And that's very time consuming. Okay, let's take these apart here. I can't see it anymore. I want to start this. I want to take these out. So let me see. Check this out. Can take it out in one piece. So I want to spray it. I don't want to have it too dry. Let's spray this a little, also to clean, so we can see what's going on, what the seedlings need or what they don't need. So here, let's spray this to make it a little bit easier to pull them apart without ripping off the root. Okay. Yeah, this will take a while. I hate it. I really hate it. I will never sow out so many again at once. I love to have a lot of seeds, and seeds you can, worst case scenario, you can put them in the freezer. But with seedlings, you have the seedlings there. You need to either keep them alive or not, or you lose them, and then you don't have anything. When you still have the seeds, you can sow out a few more later. And if you have sown them all up, like if you have them all in that form, really hard. But yeah, some need a little longer to understand that. So, okay, yeah, this is 1 million seedlings. I need to look at the label. We need to know if what we're doing here, if this even. Hey guys, yes, I'm sorry for being gone. I got a phone call. Like since yesterday, I had deactivated that security feature on the phone that no unknown caller can call me, and instantly now it has started with spam and that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just had to deactivate that because every time someone calls me, my internet connection had dropped. So yeah, but I'm back. Thank you for waiting. I apologize. I just had to deactivate that kind of option. It's difficult with the kind of with the spam on the phone. The landline that I have, the landline that I grew up with, it's barely usable anymore because of all the phone spam. And now I'm actually not available at the phone anymore. Like I'm not. People can usually not call me. I just have a phone to live stream, to post. But when people try to call me, I don't use my phone like that. Maybe aside from having a phone call with my parents and that kind of stuff. But that's it. And I was just totally. That thing has just, like, the fact that it rang, like that the phone rang. I didn't even remember that it was possible anymore because I had deactivated everything. I had deactivated all the security options that you have. But yesterday I was waiting for a call from customer service, and I had deactivated that. Okay, yeah. So we will have 1 million seedlings here. That will take a while, and I will never do that again. We would see. But these are good seedlings, So it's not that these are mediocre or anything. It's just that at some point they will need a lot of space. We will see. Just from looking at the seedlings and how many we have, I believe this is going to take a while. 4 pots at the very least, I think. 3 or 4. I'd rather not. No, thank you. I would love to not to. Please leave me alone, seedlings. It's too many. We will see what I will do with them. I will report them now. Eventually, maybe we will graft on some of them. Okay. Yeah, this is enough, I think. I will just try to get started here. And I also feel like it's weird when you get a phone call in the middle of a live stream. I felt like that should be technically impossible. I really need to look into the settings. That can't happen again. I don't want to be disturbed all the time when people call me. Okay. Yeah, so I would start putting the seedlings into the new soil now, cleaning the roots a little bit. And I'm constantly, this is a mess. At this point, when you're taking apart seedlings like this, it's really a mess. So I constantly spray to keep the workplace somewhat clean, but it's not possible. This is really dirty work. And it's usually work you would do in the garden. But yeah, or maybe on a hobby desk. But it will be good. It's educational. So yeah, I will try to get as many into each pot as I can. But this looks like we might need a lot more than 2. And this is from a cross between Sisala and Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung Cantora. Yeah, the mother, a hybrid like Pink Stripes, like Bamboy a little bit. And the father, a ruffled Gräser follow-up hybrid, Gräser Cantora hybrid. A Gräser hybrid is a Syrensia it's a Syrensia candicans Aporo cactus hybrid. And there are many different ones, some follow-up hybrids. It's a huge group of hybrids now. And they are interesting. I like them. They have unique flowers. But yeah. No worry, all good. I was offline for a minute or two. Someone called me on the phone. And that hasn't happened in forever. I usually like with an unknown caller. I had deactivated that like years ago. But every now and then when you wait for customer service to call, you have that turned off, and I forgot to turn it on again. Yeah. Doesn't matter. It's okay. I'm just unhappy about the situation with the phone spam. I still remember the kind of landline world that we had before. And I find it sad that they can't control that they can't control the spam there. The landline number that I have, it's completely dead now. It's unusable. Not really not usable. Okay, so I want to spray them again, just a little bit to clean, give me a little bit more visibility again. And these will grow into pretty wide, big seedlings. This is going to, we will need a lot of space for these. Okay. So I'm almost done with this one. And it's pretty full. And we will have to correct all the time, repeatedly over the next weeks, depending on what happens when we water them. Every time we water them, something will change, I'm pretty sure. And it needs more seedling work done, like more seedlings pushed around, moved somewhere. Okay, so next one. Okay. Yeah, just moving one seedling after the other. This is one of these tasks where you really have to have patience, and I don't have it. I would love to have patience. I always wanted to have it in my life. But it doesn't change, you know. No matter what I think about it, you need to do the work. It takes so long. And I dread every second when I do that, when I move seedlings. It's just not, I don't know. I'm looking forward not sowing out so many at once in one container. And I never had that feeling before. But once you have repotted a few hundred seedlings from the same cross, that is just something that coins you. That's something that really makes all the work visible for you. It's one thing to say, okay, yeah, when we have many seedlings, we will repot them. It's another thing when it actually happens and you have to repot them. You know, when that day actually comes. And with the seedlings here, with this size, it comes so fast. Maybe we can fit a few more in this pot here. The way it looks now, there might be a bit of space left for a few more seedlings, but we will see. I don't want to pack them too close. But then again, if we lose a few here and there when we're having so many, then that would be okay. I haven't sown it out yet. I have it besides me here. Like the avocado is the one thing, and people have told me that you would usually grow them like with grafted plants or with cultivars, you know, propagated cultivars, not sowing out, and probably because they don't taste so nice. I'm not sure if that is true, but that is what the person has written in the comment. And yeah, I believe it, you know. So, but I still want to sow it out, and I have them beside me. I was just not sure when the right time to harvest it, because the moment I kind of cut open the fruit to look for the seed, then it has to be ripe. So I thought about looking at photos of avocados to see how they look when they are ripe. I'm not an avocado guy. I'm not the type of people that eat avocado toast, that kind of stuff, you know. I'm not that kind of a food guy. I don't really eat a lot of vegetables right now. It's just yeah, I don't like anything sour. And very often, I don't know, everything tastes sour to me. Every fruit tastes sour to me. But I want to sow it out. That doesn't mean I can't sow it out. I will try it out. Definitely, we will remove the fruit, and then we will try to get that seed to germination. And the other one was a passiflora, passion flower, kind of passion fruit, whatever, something like that. And I want to also wait for the right time to get the seeds out. will be fun. Earlier today, I looked at the strawberries that I planted. White strawberries. And they were in some sort of a kind of compost kind of thing for sowing out. It looked funky, but so far no seedlings. We will see. It's just maybe 5-6 days. And if I remember correctly, the description wrote about 10-12 days. So yeah, we are still in the green with those. I'm sure they will come up. Okay. Yeah, we can maybe fit a few more in here. A few seedlings here and there, one left, one right, you know, pushed in between. Unfortunately, they don't have the luxury to have a lot of space right now. And at that size, they don't need it. They don't need excessive space right now. But it's still good to report them all the time, you know. I don't mean like just because they are in a small pot, just because they don't need the space, like the big root space in the beginning, repotting can still be good for them. Okay. Yeah. Okay. The fruit, the thing it feels pretty soft. Like, check it out. This is it. This is the passion fruit. Passion flower. It looks a little bit wrinkly. See? But not super, not mushy, not super mushy. And the avocado. Oh, I think we need to take it up. I think this is rot. I think it's time then. So we will deal with that either today or tomorrow. But yeah, I feel like we might be able to harvest it now, to get it open, take out the core, dry it. Then I try to maybe with a file, maybe I can make it easier for that thing to germinate. We will try that out later. I will put it on the side now because this is also so dirty. If I now bring a fruit here, it's going to be total chaos. But that is something that I'm looking forward to. Passiflora is the name, the botanical name, and I would love to grow them. That is a cool plant. I still remember that I had some of them in the past, and they were really nice, good flowers. Okay, so check out what I did so far. This is most of the seedlings out of this one huge pot that was so overcrowded. Yeah, this gives them maybe a few months, 3 months maybe. We will see. For now, they are okay in here. I still have more seedlings. Might have to repot more. This could be a third one. And I hate it. I don't want to have so many. It's not that I would love to see them all flowering, but I don't have space for all of them. So eventually we will sort out. Maybe we will graft on seedlings. These could be great grafting stocks, just saying. Okay. So yeah, another one. And when I have all the seedlings in these here, then I need 2 more labels for the pots. I will buy new labels too this time. And this time I want to show you which ones I want. These here. That's the kind of label that I want. And the ones that I got last time were tiny compared, and I measured it. I don't know why they sent me this kind of stuff. But this time I really need a different label. Okay, so I moved the seedlings here also. Like with the others, I place them on top of the soil. Let the potato rest for a second, and then you're ready. I just want to place them there, and then later I will clean them, spray them. Then we move them into the soil. Yeah. And in combination with the lamp, with watering, you're kind of giving these seedlings a good life. Gotta be careful that the soil always dries out in between. But if you're doing it like this, with a good lamp, with a decent lamp, doesn't have to be super expensive, but that's all you need, you know? Growing cacti is easier than a lot of people would think. In my opinion, like now that I'm growing other plants, you know, like the chili that we're growing, compared to the cacti, I found cactus growing easier. I really had cactus growing is already difficult. You have to be careful about drainage. You have to know when to water, not to water. But like some of the really bad issues, like pH level, really pH level issues, they are not so devastating for cacti than for other plants. You can always, like, I use a pH buffer, and with seedlings you can usually correct that easily. And with different plants, it can be so complicated to, if you have just some sort of a, like, if not all the micronutrients are there in the right concentration, you can already get problems that are deal breaker, major deal breakers. And with, I haven't had these immense, like, it's really difficult sometimes when you're used to one type of plant, and then you're trying something else and it has completely different needs sometimes. So yeah, I found it quite challenging to grow other stuff always. I always had like cacti were the plants that I could keep alive, so I stuck with them. And today I'm just, you know, experimenting with other plants. It's just fun to sow out, especially sowing out, because sowing out allows you to grow stuff. You can, you know, you can have this huge library of life at home, like of different types of seeds, different plants. You know, I like that idea, to have this huge seed storage where you can just, if society falls apart, you can still grow what you need. You can still grow your vegetables or your fruit trees, you know? Being somewhat independent of that kind of the kind of world that they are building outside right now. Because I'm so unhappy right now with society. You know, I have a lot of these tendencies where I sometimes pull back from society because I'm unhappy with the way people, you know, how people do it right now. And yeah, when you're able to grow something in, like, a few hundred years ago, that was a huge deal. That was a huge deal, and I feel like it still is today. We have, like, in our society, we have different kind of. It has gotten easier to avoid that you don't have it, but it's such a big plus if you can grow something and keep it alive. So okay, I will not get a fourth one. I have had it with this one, so I will try to distribute the remaining seedlings that I cannot fit into this one between the others. I don't want to have 4 seedlings of this cross. Absolute insanity. I should not have sown out so many. Yesterday I was reading something and it really made me think. Like, I was reading something about people that have the tendency to cause stress, to make life more stressful. and they were like, the description that they had there was describing me. You know, like I was looking at that description and was, oh my God, I cause all these problems for myself. And this is a perfect example, you know, like space issues. I'm just the type of person, when I like something, I'm also sowing out maybe 100 seeds of something. Yeah, I feel like, how can too much of something good be bad, you know? And then I see it in front of me, and I realize this is something that I have caused. I really need to sow out less. And I don't mean fewer containers, I really mean less seeds per grow. That's just too bad. Okay, I think I have it. I think we're through. Every time I say it, I find more. Okay. Oh, there are more. I found two more. 2 or 3. Please, no. I don't want to. I feel like I'm excavating Pompeii. It's like there's coming more and more seedlings on top of each other. Now I pierced one. Taking that one out because we have too many already. This is like a clown car. This container is like a clown car. They're coming more and more seedlings out of it. Okay, I think this is it. Jesus Christ. So yeah, I would spray them now. Last seedlings, like the last container, I still need to push them all in the soil. Here's another one. They're multiplying. Okay. Yeah, I would start to push all the seedlings in here. I honestly consider buying a microphone for the live stream. I'm not sure if that makes sense, but I really like when I'm listening to a podcast and they have a good microphone. Sometimes it makes a big difference. So I will look at that. Like I've saved me a microphone that people recommended somewhere, and I want to look that up later. Maybe we will get a microphone for the live stream. Would be great. Okay. Yeah, so this will mean constant, like weeks of correcting seedlings here. They will constantly need to be changed a little. When you are planting so many seedlings, this will take a while until they have settled in. Okay. Yeah, we're getting somewhere, more and more. And in general, this is a good cross. I can only say it again. It makes sense to keep a lot of them, but not all of them. It's hard. Sometimes it's hard to say how big the range will be from these seedlings. Sometimes you get seedlings, like when you grow 20 of them, most of them look similar or the same. And then you have crosses where every seedling looks different. And you just can't predict it. And in order to see the flower of these sometimes need to get like this, this kind of size. So we have to wait relatively long until we know how many we should have kept from them, It's kind of difficult. Sometimes it can be good to grow one or two, to graft them, so you can kind of rush these a little along, get them to flower a little earlier. And that can sometimes save you, where you just look at the flowers that you see from the grafted seedlings that you get, and those already show you what kind of a cross this might be. Like, gives you an idea of the cross. Not totally, you can still be totally wrong and get a very different kind of flower in the other seedlings, but it gives you an idea. It gives you, like, if you see one or two flowers already, you can guess in which direction it will go. So maybe we will do that. Grafting them pretty fast to get them to flower within 2 or 3 years. That would be the goal. And that can happen. That is realistic if you graft them, if you push them. Good growing graft, nothing weak. Okay, need more water now. The soil has become too dry again. And I'm always happy to take questions again. I always remind people that this is interactive. You can really, say stuff that is on your mind. Beautiful. What do you feel like is the most beautiful cactus flower in habitat? So no hybrid. I really like the flower of Sowing thaiensis. Thaiensis, like the really magenta-like flower, is super beautiful. Trichocereus tulhuayacensis has an amazing flower. I've seen photos of KK337, that cultivar by Karel Kniese, and it has a beautiful flower with a nice white throat. So that one is really nice. I like Lubivia winteriana. That is a botanical species with a beautiful flower and very useful. Yeah, apart from that, Sowing camargensis has an amazingly beautiful flower opening up, like with the way the sepals are opening up wide. Really beautiful flower. Yeah, a lot of beautiful botanicals. Like I said, the most beautiful, yeah, probably thaiensis, maybe tulhuayacensis. I also loved glauca last year. Echinopsis glauca was a beautiful flower. Sometimes you see these flowers on plants that you didn't expect, Cerensia telegona. And that is more like a hanging, kind of creeping plant that is growing a little bit more prostrate over the ground. Yeah, and that has a beautiful flower too. Nice scent. So many beautiful species. Or sometimes you have a beautiful locality with a particularly beautiful flower. Lubivia zecheri has a super nice flower with a pink stigma. Really good. So yeah, now that I got a few orders yesterday, I can finally pay the yearly fee for the Echinopsis work group, for the cactus work group. Yeah, it looks like a swamp. Really looks like I'm I don't know, like I'm playing here in the mud. I hate it. I really hate it. I need to build something that makes this a little easier. But unfortunately, like with the seedlings, when you're pulling them apart like this, you need to do it. You need to get dirty. You know, you can't grow plants. Sometimes you just have to get in the mud. And earlier today, I reminded myself that I need to just live with it, you know? This is the kind of hobby where you can get dirty, where it's okay to get dirty. And you can't say that about a lot of activities anymore. So yeah, gotta embrace it. Let me see how oh, it happened again. It happened again. Like with the smartphone. The smartphone charger already, once again, like yesterday, came out. I really need to get me a new charger. See, I have so many issues. Yeah, that was because of the video that I posted yesterday. And I usually do not do advertising. Also because I do not I don't see my long-term future in the book business, you know? I just love what I do here. And when I'm doing the books, you are locked up inside maybe a year or two and in darkness in the office, and I can't live like that right now. I enjoy that I can go out now in summer, you know, and that's why I don't really put so much work into new books right now. I have a few that I could release that are almost done, you know, but I just don't see myself to now that the summer comes, now that we can stream so much, that I would lock myself into the office and just do writing. Writing's really tough. Like when I did the two books that I did, like the two that were printed, my mental health was not good. I was constantly getting messages by people who waited for their book. And due to the fact that it took months to get them to where I live, just with the ship, it took a while. So you constantly get messages by people that want your book, that want their book, you know, that they have paid for. So yeah, it's stressful. It's stressful, and I'm not sure if I want to do one in the near future. But it's great when I see that success, you know, when you're doing something, when you say, hey guys, I could really use an order here and there, and it actually works. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to afford it myself right now. I wouldn't be able to afford it right now. I'm having, you know, same issues as everyone. There's a few books that I wanted to support by friends of mine, and I couldn't because it was so hard. Like the last year was financially so difficult. I barely get along. I pay all the bills, so there's not that huge disaster. I can just pay all the bills, and that's it. So I know how it is for so many people where it's similar, you know. Exactly now, especially now with the high cost of gasoline and that kind of stuff, heating oil. I was so glad that I had already bought the heating oil when the price gouging happened recently. Okay. Good. I think we can leave it like this. Now I have 3 containers here, all from the same cross. All Sisala crossed with Gräsers Erfolg Selbstbestäubung. That is quite a lot. Now I need a pencil and we will write the labels. So the label is, the number is KA for Uwe Kahle. German breeder Uwe Karle, 2023, 67. Sisala crossed with Gräsers Erfolg, Selbstbestäubung, and Cantora. And that plant is from Reinhard Liske, like the father plant, Reinhard Liske hybrid 2011, 2241 KA4. These long letters and all that stuff, the people from the community, they kind of know that there's a list that you can look up, and you can look up the parentage of every cross. Every breeder has a little short code, and that allows you to look up the parents even years later, and that is a good system, you know. So yeah, just need one more now. So again, KA 2023, 67, Sisala crossed with Gräsers Erfolg, Selbstbestäubung, self-pollination, and Cantora. Cantora candicans Echinopsis toralapana. And the father, Reinhard Liske, 2011. So from a cross from 2011, 2241. That is his number, his ongoing cross number, 2241. And that was in 2011. So the number is now probably, I don't know, maybe another 1,000. I'm not sure how it's going with Reinhard's hybrid, but I hear he's still breeding. I've seen him in television, and he's rocking everything good. Like, I've seen the videos, it was nice. Okay, so they will come to the lamp now. Nothing more we can do now. And I'm so glad that I did that. And I think this is going to be the end of the live stream very soon, because I'm only at 11% or something like that. Let me see again. Okay, it's not so bad. It's 12%, so I was able to charge 1% up while continuing to stream. So that's good. And this goes away now. This is just too muddy. Try to clean that up later again. Every time when I have done my live stream, I usually am busy half an hour to clean up. Okay, yeah, let's go through the takeaway containers and then we're out. Just want to see if we can maybe bring a few of the seedlings in the takeaway containers out of the lid, like take off the lid. That would be good. These here, we could. They have already reached a size where we can maybe start fertilizing them a little. Yeah, I think we will take off the lid here. Yeah. Here's one that I want to spray. The ones that I'm taking out of the containers, like these here, they need to be sprayed on a regular basis when you remove the lid. Otherwise, they will be a little bit stressed, and you might lose some unnecessarily. If you can carefully adjust them, that will be much less, those losses. These here, Gräsers Erfolg, Selbstbestäubung, and Amun-Re. They look okay. I don't know. We could take them out. There's nothing that speaks against it. They have reached the size where it's okay. But also we could leave them in a little longer. Let me see how the others look like. These are tiny. A little bit water, a little bit rain. Always raining. Just to give the seedlings that kind of a cleaning cleaning thing that happens on a regular basis where you wash all the mineral stuff off. Yeah, I think we will leave them in a little longer. They are not looking bad. They don't really need to be taken out. So I will give the others a little bit more time. Okay. These are super tiny, Amun-Re. Still not much. They have come up a little bit more since last time, since the last live stream, since I had them. I really had them close to the lamp, and it worked. So now I want to spray all the seedlings that I have here. Yeah, and I just take them here every time just to show you. And sometimes when you just move the few seedlings, the moment you water them, they will require you to change to correct the position a little bit again. Nothing drastic, just making sure that they are straight in the soil. These need a lot of water. This is just, check out, you can only see them when the soil gets wet from all the mineral deposits that you see there. That's not a huge issue, but we keep an eye on it. Normally my water here is pretty light. Not a lot of mineral in the soil here. Okay, here's a seedling that I want to take out that looks weak, that probably doesn't have a chance. Apart from that, a second watering to give them some more time to take in the water. Okay, these here need urgently in this live stream. What I'm doing now is basically, now I'm watering the plants that can't wait until tomorrow. We basically used up most of the time just for moving the seedlings. But yeah, they also need water. Do you already fertilize your early seedlings? Yes, I do. The moment I take them out of the bag, I start fertilizing, and I'm fertilizing them at a somewhat mild kind of concentration. Fertilizer that I use is relatively like they market it for sensitive crops. I'm using a fertilizer called Vuxal Super. It is not paid advertising. They better pay me. I'm telling you that they should pay me. But it's just a brand that I try, you know, that I like, because it's a fertilizer that doesn't cause too many burns. It's really sold for sensitive, expensive crops that you don't want to fertilize like a garden store plant, you know, or like a plant that you're fertilizing outdoors, you know. Every now and then, fertilizer can be too harsh for the seedlings, and you need to be careful with that. If you have a fertilizer where you're not sure if they take it or not, I would rather dilute it 1/5 of the dose. Start slowly, maybe 1/3, 1/5 of the normal dose, and then try to see how much you can go up without causing any kind of issues. The little seedlings, the most common thing that happens with seedlings when fertilizer is too harsh, they will melt. They will literally melt. Seedlings don't have that. Like when you have a larger plant and you are using too harsh fertilizer, it gets these blackish spots, and they can heal again. But when it happens on a seedling, these spots go through. They go through the seedling right away and take it apart. Oh, and by the way, these, I wanted to have a closer look at these here. These needed to, we will have to have a closer look at them in the next live stream. I wanted to see, because I can see that some of the root sections don't look great. So we need to take them apart next time. I will leave that at the desk here for tomorrow's live stream. Yeah, and now I spray everything that's on the table. Just giving it the bare minimum that they need today. And everything that we haven't done today, we will do tomorrow in the live stream. Yeah, come on. Okay. Yeah. And that gives the seedlings maybe enough water for one day. Oh, come on. But in general, we have to report more now. Moving seedlings, the number of seedlings of containers where I see that we will lose seedlings if we don't change the soil. So that goes up now. So we might have to report very soon. Okay. Yeah, I think this is enough. I'm dirty enough. I look like I crawled out of a swamp. Soil everywhere. It just it's part of the job. It's in the job description. So unfortunately, that will always be part of the live stream. I don't know that fertilizer. No idea. I haven't heard that before. It's probably not available. It's not one of the brands that I know from here. It might be available. You know, sometimes you get stuff over the internet and you might still be able to order it, but it's not a brand that I know. Thank you, mate. Have a nice day. All the best. Stay healthy, my friend. Okay. Yeah. I think this is great for today. Everyone, hope you have a great start into the week. You can do it. Do the thing you want to do. I believe in you. You can do it. I wish you all the best for today. Hope you have a great day. I would spend an hour with Mika and Kami now. And yeah, taking a break, and then I will clean this mess here up. And I will be back tomorrow. Oh yeah, okay. Yeah, I will look into it. I don't know it, but I will check that out. Okay? So thank you very much. I appreciate it. And I will be back tomorrow, okay? Thank you, everyone. It's been a pleasure again and again. Everyone who supported me by getting a book, I greatly appreciate it. I greatly appreciate the people who support me by being here. So I don't expect anything in return. It's already great when you are here. And but I also, you know, it allows me to bring in a few new things for the live stream in the future. And I'm very happy that I can do that now. So thank you. I will do that. I will give your regards to Mika and Kami. Thank you. Thanks again. I will be back tomorrow. Thank you.